Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Front Row Access Podcast. I am your host, Steven Russo.
I'm Anthony Gonzalez.
Let's fucking get it, alright, guys? It's that time. We're finally doing it. You guys have waited over a year for this one.
You've
We've been saying it.
talks.
There
You've
have been
heard
talks.
rumors.
There's been rumors about a Max Holloway special that we perchance, did last year that my dumb ass forgot to upload. And because I drug my feet so long with it, it's now outdated, and we need to update it. So
That means
today, we're in light of obviously the pay-per-view this weekend with Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. We're going to do a little special on Max Holloway. Before we do our whole podcast on the event in general, let's just highlight one of the fighters in the main event, that being Max. We've already done one on Dustin. I will link that video at the end of this one, so you can go ahead and watch that if you want to hear our goofy asses talking about other fighters. So, that being said, Max bless Holloway, guys. Um, we do have fights this week. Derek Lewis is in the main event against Taliesin Teixeira. We have Stephen Thompson on the card. We have Calvin Kattar on the card. And we even have Chris Curtis on the prelims this
we are
week.
putting that on as soon as we're done with this.
Indeed, and we're playing from the beginning and fast forwarding through commercials, so don't spoil us. Not that this is even live at all.
Yeah, because even if we were to update, even if we were to upload this immediately afterwards, we'd probably still be done before they get to click on us. Because we know you guys click real fast on our videos. And we
Of course.
It.
Yes, we appreciate it very much. The last one did pretty good. We got like 40 views on that shit. It was pretty good. That was pretty good, and that was the UFC Rivals that I also forgot to upload.
We will definitely make sure we upload this.
Yes, this one is going to get uploaded.
I will nag at him every day. Trust me,
guys. Did you upload it? Yeah.
Is it uploaded yet? How about now?
So
No.
yeah, we got fights this weekend, and obviously we get the pay-per-view next weekend. But let's move in to good old Max Blessed Holloway. He's probably one of the most recognizable fighters on the UFC roster. He's one of the most fun fighters to watch.
One of the biggest draws to the sport.
Yep, one of the biggest draws to the sport. And he's got this do or die mentality, and he just goes in there and he fucking performs like nobody's business.
I mean, I will say, like, given we're gonna go over it obviously, but given the Gaethje fight, I think that's probably gotta be one of the top 10 moments of UFC.
I'd say it is, to be honest, as of right now.
It might be too early to call that, but I mean,
in the last 5 years, that is the greatest knockout in UFC history for sure. I mean, we had a couple of good ones in there. Leon's head kick definitely stands out. But I think that one, though, just because UFC 300 was such a big event, I think that is, honest to God, like the best knockout in the UFC history. Like, we've had a few, don't get me wrong, like that were like stellar. Conor McGregor's instantly comes to brain.
A flying knee that you'll never see the end of.
Obviously Jorge Masvidal with the flying knee. There's a couple like big things that have happened in history that would be considered like greatest moments or greatest knockouts of all time. But I gotta say, Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje the way he did, man. It just right here, stand right here. We're gonna swing to the fucking bell, and one of us is going down. Like, the dog had the balls in a fight that he was winning 4 rounds, almost on his way to 5 rounds to none, on Justin Gaethje, and he decides to just swing, like just
he was like, I want a statement on this.
Stand and bang with the hardest puncher at 155 in Justin Gaethje. So, I mean, well, now it's probably Ilya Topuria.
I wasn't going to bring it up because we don't want to shift to Ilya. Say, maybe not at the moment anymore, but definitely at the time.
At the time, though, like, the hardest puncher at 155, bro says, we're going to stand, we're going to bang, this is UFC 300, this is going into history books, and oh boy, it did. So, that being said, Max Holloway is one of the greatest fighters ever. He's a lot of people's favorite fighter, and he's like Justin Gaethje in a way. He's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Dustin guy, obviously, but Max Holloway, I have no hate. Obviously, we're uploading a Max Holloway special despite him going against Dustin this coming weekend. But, doesn't matter, though, because I love them both. And no matter what happens, this fight's going to be a banger. And we're going to win at the end of the day. I'm just, you know, you guys know who I'm a fan of. And that's how it's going to be. But that's next week's episode. Let's start on a good old Max Holloway. Now, the first thing I want y'all to know is his name actually isn't Max.
What?
His name isn't Max. It's one of his. That's his middle name. His
By the
name.
way, just saying, guys, you might have just noticed it too. He highlighted something in the notebook. Now, the notebook is making a special appearance here. We have not been using it in a while.
Nope.
This is titled episode 25.
Yep.
We're on like 60...
60 something, 70 something at this point.
We're in the high 60s, low 70s right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have located the notebook, and we
Found
are
it finally.
using it for the source data on where Max Holloway came from. And then it's probably going to go back into a dusty cabinet.
Yes, exactly what's going to happen. But that's the first thing we got to tell you guys. Obviously, on December 4th, 1991, Mr. Jerome Max Kalele Holloway. I probably totally butchered your one of your middle names there, Max. I'm sorry, or Jerome. Sorry, but he was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and he has Samoan, Hawaiian, and English roots. So
Shit, he's going to join the bloodline.
he's gonna join the bloodline.
He's going to join.
But
I hope it's good bloodline.
yeah, which side of the bloodline is he gonna join? Is the real question. I think he's more of a Roman guy than he is a Solo guy or fucking Jacob Fatu guy because he's just rogue right now. Anyway, so Max had a pretty rough childhood growing up in Hawaii, despite being and living in Hawaii. There is obviously poverty and
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of people glamorize Hawaii, but I've heard tales that... I'm telling you guys, I've heard tales, nothing confirmed, that, like, the people of California get rid of their homeless by sending them one-way tickets to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they'd rather be homeless in Hawaii than homeless on Cali.
Because, I mean, homeless in Hawaii, I mean, well, at least the weather's warm. You don't gotta worry about fucking...
Drifting off into the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. But,
No, I mean, because Cali's about to, like, snap on that fault line and then just...
And then just into the ocean it goes. But yeah, so his father, Mark Holloway, actually was pretty abusive towards his mother. And his mother's Missy Capoi, and abandoned Max at 11 years of age.
Fantastic fathering.
Father of the fucking year. Congratulations, Mark Holloway. You get the Father of the fucking Year award.
Yes, and we are here to let people know how shitty you were. You did not get away with it. Everyone knows, and it will be popularized.
Indeed. So, fuck you for not stepping up and being a man, alright? But anyway, both of his parents were drug addicts, though, so I'm not going to go ahead and say his mother was a saint, but both of his parents were drug addicts, and his mom would eventually recover from her addictions. Luckily enough, and she probably did it for Max, let's be real here. Anyway, so, despite him being born in Honolulu, he actually grew up in Waian, Hawaii.
What was it, December 4th, 91?
91, yeah, December 4th, 91, he was born. And he was in a pretty rough neighborhood in Waianae, Hawaii. So, that sucks. And because he was living in this shit show of a neighborhood, he actually decided to pick up, martial arts. And, so he can learn to protect himself from, like, the bullies and all the, you're in a rough area, you gotta know how to fight,
Yeah, I was gonna say, smart move, learning
Like-
the discipline of fighting,
Yep, similar to even Dustin. Dustin grew up in a tough area of Lafayette, Louisiana, and that's why he decided to fight. So, I mean, some parallels between the two fighters there, but let's go back to Max
Yeah,
now.
it's not like the Diaz's, which were just, brawlers.
Pretty
like,
much.
They just learned it from the street.
Exactly.
This one went in there with the intention of learning how to defend themselves.
Yep. So, Holloway would start his training at the age of 15 years old. So,
15.
you're never too old, guys. You're never too old to start. I started at 17.
I mean,
Alright.
yes, some people, like, shout out to your gym,
Mhm.
they hit the mat as soon as they can walk.
Yep.
Some of them take a while, but, it's never too late to pick something up. You can teach no dog new tricks. I believe in that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just going to be a bit more of a learning curve because, your brain isn't a sponge like it is when you're a child. When you're a child, it's like, you just absorb shit, and that's how it rolls.
More of a learning curve. Tell them about that fight, that pro fight.
Oh, which one?
The one that he got into after training.
Oh, yes. So, Holloway, after starting his kickboxing at the age of 15,
50.
he would go into his first amateur kickboxing fight after not a year, not 6 months, not even 3 months. This motherfucker was training for 3 days. And then his coach said, "Hey, Max, you want to fight?" And he's like, okay. I mean, he got nothing to lose at that point. I mean, take respect, to be honest with you. You have nothing to lose, so just fucking go for it. Like, if you lose, you started training 3 fucking days ago. Like, it's okay. Just wipe that with a sponge, you'll be alright, you know? But here's the thing. After 3 days of training in kickboxing, into his first fight, the fucker won. the
Like, do you usually win 3 days after starting fighting?
No, you usually get your ass kicked. But Max blessed Holloway said that 3 days after his first fight, he ends up fucking 3 days after his first training session has his first fight and fucking wins the fight. Bro was fucking born for this shit at this point. Like, if you're going in there 3 days after training and winning a fight, you're just a fucking prodigy at that point. And you have
Was this the
hacked.
uppercut one, or
Hmm?
like how do you win this one? Was it?
I have no idea how he won this one. I did not. I did not write the method of finish on here. Plus, amateur records are really hard to find because they're, well, amateur records. Pro records, those are easy to find. Those are websites for that, like plenty of them. But it's a little tough when it's amateur. But anyway, after that, Max would continue to train all through high school, and he graduated from Wyoming High School in 2010. And when he crossed the stage, got his diploma, he had a 4-0 amateur record.
Yes, sir.
How many of you guys crossed the stage with a 4-0 amateur record in kickboxing? Not me. Not me. Anthony, did you have a 4-0 amateur record when you
Let me
graduated
think
high
about
school?
it. No, I did not. I did not have a 4-0.
So, yeah. And so not only did this motherfucker graduate high school, he had a 4-0 record. And this bro was not to be fucked with.
He's not the one you do the bullying to.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
Yeah, I could beat up that kid. What's he got? 4-0. You know what? Actually,
You know what? Actually,
he can keep that lunch money.
he can keep that lunch money. You know what?
Here, you want some mine?
Here, take mine. You want to go buy yourself an extra piece of fucking pizza? Go for it, brother. Anyway, so Max made his combat sports his life from 15 to now, and as soon as he graduated high school, he knew that this is what he wanted to do, and he just went all in on the training, and he's like, I'm gonna go be a K1 kickboxer. You know, that's where he started. Little did we know that he'd start picking up MMA a little bit further down the road. But yeah. So Max would make it his life, and it's still his life. Let's be honest. So anyway, so Max made his professional debut in September of 2010. You know, a couple months after graduating high school, and okay, hold on. Ring ding 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 ding. But yeah, so he won by a unanimous decision in his first debut, and
And what promotion was this under?
I have no fucking idea. I think it was X1 Heroes. Yep,
X1 Heroes.
X1 Heroes.
Which I know nothing about.
Which I know nothing about. So
okay, which we know nothing about.
exactly. In September of 2010, X1 Heroes, he would win by unanimous decision in his next fight, and he got the X1 lightweight title fight after his first win. So I mean, dude had one professional fight and got a title fight afterwards.
Was it only one or was it two?
It said, yeah, and this earned him a, okay, yeah, it said then with this win in his next fight, it earned him a X1 lightweight title shot versus Harris Sarmiento, and Holloway would win by a split decision. So yeah, pretty good start to your professional career.
Yeah.
2-0.
A promotion and go get yourself a title.
Yep. So the dude's doing all right out here. So after he won that lightweight title in X1 Heroes, this motherfucker makes his UFC debut. So he won the title, then vacated the title, and went to the UFC. I think he made his UFC debut against, shockingly enough, Dustin Poirier, on February 4th, 2012, where he would lose via triangle armbar.
Do we know what weight class that was in?
Featherweight.
Featherweight. Okay.
It was a featherweight fight between Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, because fucking crazy that both guys actually made it to 145 for as long as they did, especially Dustin. But you know, anyway, so he makes his debut against Dustin Poirier and loses via triangle armbar. And let me tell you, triangle armbars are not fun. Anthony, have you ever been in one?
No. You demonstrated how to put someone in one,
Oh,
but you never applied pressure.
yes, that's how it rolls.
Have you seen that fight? Because I don't think I have
I've
the
watched
original
it.
one.
Yep, I've watched it a couple of times. And anyway, after losing to Dustin Poirier, he followed Max Holloway would go on to a three-fight winning streak before going before taking back-to-back L's to Dennis Bermudez and Conor McGregor.
I
Yes,
know that last one. I don't know that first one.
Dennis Bermudez. He was just a
He was just a guy.
guy
He was just a guy that was there at the time.
that fought. And the crazy thing about this is Max Holloway fought Conor McGregor before Conor McGregor was Conor McGregor. Like, he was on the come up. A lot of eyes were on him. And he was a very promising prospect at this point in time. But he went against Conor McGregor before he became Conor McGregor. So I think Mr. Max Holloway is a little mad that all the people that he's fought after him, that Connor's fought after him, made fuck ton more money than he did against against Conor McGregor in that fight. I think it's safe to say Max is like, what the fuck? I wanted that fucking McGregor money. I didn't get it. He was fucking 3 fights into the UFC by this point. But anyway, that's but as you know,
Honestly, I think it'd be fair to say that if you won the title in X Heroes and then vacated right away, you're chasing the money.
yes, of course. I mean, X Heroes, and then he wants to go and move right up to the UFC. I mean, that's the goal as a fighter, especially a mixed martial artist. So, I mean, that's what you want to do if you want to be a fighter. That is. So, let's talk about Max Holloway's first run to gold because it would actually kind of start right after his loss to Conor McGregor, which is kind of funny to be honest. That it just Conor was a thorn in the side for him, and then he just started to go on this fucking wild run. But following a 2-fight skid, Max Holloway would go on a 9-fight winning streak, defeating Charles Oliveira and Jeremy Stevens within that run. Now, this was Charles Oliveira once again before Charles Oliveira was Charles Oliveira. So, this was featherweight Charles Oliveira, who was like really out of shape, like underweight, and could barely even like hold his own. Like he got finished a lot at this point in time. Charles Oliveira was kind of seen as like this like a journeyman in a way at this point in time, like somebody that would never ever be good or never make it big. But then obviously we would know what happened. We know what happens a couple of years later with him. We get the Do Bronx reign from 2021 to 2022. That was one hell of a year. um, right around the time I was like starting to really dive headfirst in there. So safe to say, has a special place in my heart. That first Charles Oliveira run.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, with this 9-fight winning streak, he would earn an interim title fight against Anthony Pettis. And if y'all don't know Anthony Pettis, he's a former lightweight champion, and he was an absolute badass in his day, known for his showmanship and knockout power. Now, so safe to say, this was the fight to make at this point in time for the interim title, because I mean, once his face just lost it, Pettis just lost it, so he's moving down to featherweight to see if he has a better chance over here. And he wouldn't, because Max Holloway would TKO him round 3. This was on December 10th, 2016. So just like that, Max Holloway has become an interim featherweight champion.
I wonder if Holloway used his birthday wish for that.
I mean, I would. I wish I win my fight, and then just that's how it rolls. And on June 3rd, 2017, after winning his interim belt, would be his shot at the Undisputed Gold versus Jose Aldo. And Max would win by a round 3 TKO. And new.
I got a question here.
Mhm.
Do we think that Greggy cracked Aldo?
Do we think that Greggy cracked Aldo? At this point in time, yes, Aldo was still very much feeling that. But here's the thing. Despite him getting cracked by Conor McGregor at 145, he would get the belt back, obviously, which is great. But then he'd lose the belt to Max. And then he'd move down to bantamweight, and dude went on one fucking hell of a run there. Like dude was in a vacant bantamweight title fight after Henry Cejudo decided to hang up the gloves. So I mean, he was against Piotr Jan, fighting for the bantamweight title in like 2020. So like, the dude got back on the horse and he kept fucking riding.
Oh yeah, no, I've never counted Aldo out. You know that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say Greggy cracked him. I would say he damaged him, especially. That's probably why he left the weight class in the way he did. But like, he would actually go on a pretty solid run of bantamweight after this, so I wouldn't say Greggy had the best of him. What I am mad about is that Conor McGregor never took a rematch against him because he decided to go and box Floyd Mayweather.
Greggy, see, when we're talking about this, like, Holloway, his start, a media fight, going to X1 Heroes. After winning that, you go to UFC. That is someone who I see likes martial arts as a discipline and training.
Mhm.
And that is where the best MMA fighters go. They go to UFC. That's just how it is. Sorry, there's levels. I've said this before. Whereas Greggy, he chases exclusively the money.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about being
A martial artist.
yeah.
It's about getting as much money
Like,
doing fights.
I know he'd kick my ass if he saw this and took offense to it.
Obviously.
But I mean, call a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm.
You in it for the money.
And to be honest, I'm not even trying to bash that too much, to be honest with you. If you want to chase the money, chase the fucking money. But that's just how it rolls around here with Greggy, and I just feel like he doesn't care about the sport as much as I think a Max Holloway does. You know? But back to Max. He would rematch Jose Aldo in December of 2017, 6 months after winning it.
Let me get
Which,
one of these delectable dudes here.
yes,
Hit us
Pepsi.
up, guys. You know where we are. You know how to reach us.
frontrowaccess15@gmail.com. We're also on every social media except for Facebook, because fuck Facebook. It's some rendition of Front Row Access. I promise. Just type in Front Row Access and you'll fucking find us. It's the same channel emblem. It's my profile picture. So, you know,
That's Chris.
that was a good one. This is good. This fucking do fridge kicks ass. Like, this is an actual fridge, y'all. Like, y'all can't see it, but this is like, it's like actually cold in there. And it's plugged into a little surge protector over here, which is badass.
We ourselves working on a 36 pack of dew we got.
We have two of them.
We got the new dew in there too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, repping the brand.
Which I think we did a review on mid podcast one week. I was like, it's my first time cracking one of these bitches open. It was pretty good. We like the Dragon Fruit run. Anyway, he would rematch Jose Aldo in December of 2017, Mr. Max Holloway, UFC 208. Phenomenal fight between the two of them again. And Max Holloway would again TKO Jose Aldo and be like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm the champ now. And now, does it make sense that Jose Aldo got an immediate rematch? Yes. This dude ruled over this division for about a decade. So, and is one of the only, I think, two-time featherweight. I think he is the only, other than Volkanovski, he's the only other two-time featherweight champion. So, that's nuts, to say the least. So, Max's title reign, though, boy, this was something special. Now, mind you, Max Holloway was, like, not even in his 30s yet, which that is considered to be your prime years when it comes to MMA. He's not even in his 30s yet, and he's fucking ripping shit up and killing motherfuckers as a champion.
I give people more of a range. I'd say like 28 to 34.
That's your time. That's when you gotta do as much as you can, when you can, and however way you can do it. So, yeah, Max was supposed to fight Khabib, actually, at one point, after the catastrophe that was UFC 223, because that fucking card will live in infamy forever and ever, because, let me give y'all a little rundown of UFC 223. I think I've talked about it at length at this channel at this point, but it's just such a fucked pay-per-view card. It originally started as Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Best of the best lightweights, going at it for the belt, right? Vacant belt because McGregor decided to go box Floyd Mayweather. And held the division up for over a year. Two divisions up for over a year.
Dude, just chasing that money.
So, anyway, by this point, Tony Ferguson had already won an interim belt.
I'm sorry. I gotta stop right there, because I just thought of something. Dude, just chasing that money. He's gotta get his pot of gold.
He's gotta get the pot of gold, kid. You know, at the bottom of the fucking pot, they say there's a bottle of proper number 12 Irish whiskey in that one. My McGregor impression will forever be stellar. But, you know, back to UFC 223, where Max was supposed to fight Khabib after beating Jose Aldo twice, which, that's a valid fight to make. But it was supposed to be Khabib and Tony. Tony was the interim champion, but then Dana White said, fuck all the belts. There's no champ. There's no interim champ. Tony Ferguson, get your ass in there against Khabib. We're going to settle this shit and fuck Conor for this shit. Because Dana, this is like the first time he actually got mad at Conor. Because, well, He held up 2 divisions.
Dana has his boys.
Hmm. But meanwhile, during fight week, Tony Ferguson would trip on a camera cord, a fucking camera cord, and he would shatter his fucking kneecap on something. So naturally, fucking Tony Ferguson can't fight no more. Who's available coming off 2 big wins against one of the greatest of all time? Max Holloway. All right, let's give him a chance to be a two-time champ, a two-weight champ. Here's what we're doing. All right, new main event. We have Khabib, Max Holloway. This fight was supposed to go down at UFC 223, April 2018, and oh boy, we almost got there. We were at weigh-in day. It was like Thursday. It was like right before everybody's supposed to make weight. The fucking doctors. Now we're fighting at this time. Like doctors are like really hawking people in New York, especially because this was supposed to be held at the in Brooklyn, New York. This fight card. And New York had just legalized MMA like 2 years prior to this, right? So naturally, they're keeping a pretty strong eye on these MMA fighters while they're cutting weight and while the cards are being built because that's just what they're doing. They just legalized this shit. They want to make sure everything's going the way it's supposed to go. Government overreach, but anyway,
What? The government doesn't interfere in your personal lives. What are you talking about?
What the fuck you mean? But anyway, they're like hawking the fuck out of Max Holloway because he ain't cutting weight too good right now. He's looking a little beat up. I mean, he's taking this short notice fight. Dude wasn't in shape. He wasn't in a fight camp at all. I shouldn't say he wasn't in shape. Not like he was like Patty the Fatty, but not like he was Patty the Fatty, but like dude wasn't in fucking dude wasn't in fight shape yet. So he's cutting weight while not going through a camp just to get a shot at glory. Which amen to that, brother. But New York was looking at him like, ooh, boy, you're not looking too good. Yep, stop the weight cut. You can't fight. You're not doing it. All right, so the New York Athletic State Commission, barred him from competition due to their concern for Max Holloway during his weight cut. Now, Max Holloway's gonna tell you that he was fine, but he's a fighter. Every fighter's gonna tell you they're fine.
They fight.
They
That's
fight.
what they do.
Like,
It's in the description.
mhm. They're fighters. They're gonna say, I'm fine, because they're tough bastards. And we should all strive to be more tough like them. But sometimes we ain't built for that shit. But, anyway, Holloway said he was fine, but obviously I'm no fucking doctor. I don't know how bad it was actually looking or if he was actually in danger, so I guess good call on the New York State Athletic Commission for protecting Max Holloway. But we got robbed of a pretty good fucking fight. And so, that being said, there's no available lightweights at this time. They called up RDA. RDA's like, nah, brother, I can't make the weight in 24 fucking hours. All right? And,
And the other dude made it in 3. So.
yeah, well, that was a catchweight fight anyway. Danny Gay, MVP of that card, for real. Then went and had a fucking crazy fight with Diego Lopez. But anyway, that being said, there was like no available lightweight contenders to go for it, but there was another lightweight ranked at number 10 on the undercard. His name, who also sells houses on the side. His name is Ally Quinta, and they put Ally Quinta against Khabib Nurmagomedov, number 10 versus number fucking 1 for the vacant lightweight strap.
Is this like the first time it was done?
Hmm?
Is this like the first time it was done?
What, vacated?
No, like 1 versus 10.
Yeah, this was probably about one of the first times it was done. The only other time would be like Matt Serra against GSP way back in like 06 when he stepped in on short notice.
Since then, we've seen this happen like two-ish times, two,
Yeah.
3 times just in the past year or so.
Yeah. So anyway, they barred him from there, and Max can't fight Khabib anymore. Although I would have loved to see that fight. I hate to say it, Khabib probably would have mauled Max Holloway.
Yeah,
But,
the training camp, not in a usual class, I would say so.
But you never know. I mean, if you're gonna give it all for a moment of glory, man, go and fucking do it. I'd do it if I was in Max Holloway's shoes. I get an opportunity to be a two-weight champion. All I gotta do is make some weight in a week. All right, let's fucking go. I'm gonna try to get this 155 strap now. Ally Quinta was 155. Khabib Nurmagomedov was 155. Vacant titles on the line. Khabib naturally goes and fucking 50-45s him and wins by a unanimous decision. And then Khabib became your champion. But anyway, Max would then, after his failed bout at trying to get to Khabib, would go back down to his division, defend his belt and his division that
Not
he
go
fucking
box
earned.
Floyd Mayweather.
Not go box Floyd Mayweather, Mr. McGregor. So, Max would then defend his title against Brian Ortega in December of 2018.
City.
This was originally meant to happen in July of 2018. Naturally, Brian Ortega had some issues because naturally,
Naturally.
Brian Ortega had some issues. Sadly, like we love Brian Ortega when he gets in there, but sometimes he's not the most reliable guy to make it to a fight. You know, usually something happens, some kind of injury happens. I'm like, dude, why the fuck you training so hard? I get it, you want to win, but like, holy fuck, you have to get to the fight to win, you know. So anyway, that's just me though. But this was originally meant for July, and then Max and Brian Ortega would go on to have one of the greatest featherweight title fights that you will ever fucking see, I promise. And they'd have an absolute classic. I think that fight is going into the Hall of Fame if it's not already fucking in there. Like, that is one hell of a fight that you all should totally go and watch. And I'm showing Anthony probably at some point soon. So, but, you know, Max would retain his title based off a doctor's stoppage. Let's just say, um, Brian Ortega's eye was pretty much swollen shut. His cheeks were out to fucking here, and his forehead was out to here. Like he
like,
was.
Is this a face or is this ground beef?
That's pretty much what it was. Naturally, Brian Ortega was fucked up beyond all recognition,
Ooh,
so
foobar.
he was foobarred in this fight, and the doctor promptly put an end to it to make sure Brian Ortega wouldn't fucking die. So, and this is before I think Strickland was on like a giant leave from the UFC. So at this point in time, he had a big motorcycle accident right before this fight happened, and so Strickland wouldn't have been there to revive him.
Because we all know Strickland is going to be the one to get that first killed, that first confirmed kill.
Hell yeah. Anyway, and then Max would then try to be great at lightweight one more time after beating Brian Ortega, and he would go against once again Dustin Poirier. So Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway's booked for April 2018. Actually, no, not April 2018. It was in April. Might have been 2019. Yeah, it was April 2019. And he would go on and run into Dustin Poirier again, the same guy that beat him in his UFC debut. Safe to say, Jerome was like, I'm getting this fucking one back. I'm getting this one fucking back. Yeah, I'm gonna go beat this guy. I'm a champ now. He's not a champ. I'm the champ. I'm gonna go beat him. And then that's the right mentality to have. Now, mind you, at this point, Max was on a 13-fight winning streak, which was like an all-timer for like one of the longest win streaks ever right there. It really is. To put into perspective, Islam Makhachev's on a 12, 11-fight winning streak. And Islam's one of the greatest. Fucking Max Holloway's on 13 right now. So, he would run into Dustin again, and it would be one hell of a fucking fight. Still one of my favorite fights to go back and watch. It's back and forth. It's nonstop action. It's all gas, no brakes. It's what you expect from Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. Now, Max Holloway nearly finished Dustin in the third round. Dustin nearly finished Max in the fourth and fifth round. So, eventually, it would have to go to the judges' scorecards. Nobody got finished, and it was such a close decision. I believe it was even a split decision or a majority decision, one of the two. I think it was a majority decision because one judge said it was a draw. And it was a majority decision, and it went to Dustin Poirier. So Dustin Poirier had his shot to go against Khabib Nurmagomedov to try to become the undisputed lightweight champion. This would be his first lightweight title fight. But Max just lost his 13-fight winning streak since 2014 to the guy that he lost to in his debut in the UFC. So, if Max wasn't already resenting Dustin a little at this point, you fucked me up in my debut. Fuck you, man. Oh, you took away my fucking 13-fight winning streak, asshole. But Max ain't that type of guy. He ain't one to have beef. But I gotta say, he probably got a little chip on his shoulder for Dustin Poirier at this point in time. Like, fuck, it's always this fucking guy. Now, this wouldn't be the first time he would always say, fuck, it's always this fucking guy. And that goes into our next segment, which is probably this is probably one of the best rivalries in UFC history. We're definitely gonna have to do a rivalry series on it.
Oh, for sure.
But Max would bounce back again, retaining against Frankie Edgar in July of 2019. Edgar was supposed to fight Max in March of 2018, but Edgar, had some problems, or Max had some problems, I forget. And Frankie Edgar was still on like one hell of a run at this point in time. He had lost his lightweight title like way before this, but he had moved down to featherweight, started getting a couple wins here and there, wanted to go fight for the title, and he would fight him again, and Max would beat his ass in July of 2019, and would bounce right back after that Dustin loss. Now next up, Max's next fight would be against Alexander the Great Volkanovski. Now you guys know him, y'all love him, right? This little fucking thunder from down under.
One of the few we've done specials on so
Yep,
far.
one of the few we've done a special on. We did one on him. We did one on Tony. We did one on Dustin, and now here's one on Max. But Max's rivalry with Alexander Volkanovski, man. He would lose his title to Alexander the Great Volkanovski, unfortunately, in December of 2019. He lost it by unanimous decision, and let me tell you, it was a very decisive decision. Uh, it was a very decisive decision. Alex Volkanovski definitely outclassed Max in their first fight. So, lost the title to Volk, and he would rematch him. Obviously, he's a pretty long-standing champion. Well, his only loss was when he tried to be great at lightweight again.
Yep.
And he was on a 13-fight win streak, just running through featherweights, So, a rematch again in July of 2020. I think I actually remember watching this fight. Like when I was first starting to get into it, not knowing shit about either guy, to be honest. I was just watching it, and I was like, ooh, there's a shiny belt on the line, So, obviously, I was intrigued because there's a fucking shiny belt on the line. So, he'd rematch him, and once again, would lose to Alexander the Great Volkanovski. But this one was by a controversial split decision. A lot of people could argue that Max Holloway won that fight. And I can tell you, it was very true. You could have definitely made the argument that Max won that fight. But you could have also made the argument that the judges chose the right person. It was a very close fight, razor thin. But, they'd meet again a little bit later. But, we ain't going to get into that yet. Now, let's talk about Max Holloway, this point in Max Holloway's career, which is, this is the Max Holloway that I, started watching and I knew of. And this was the permanent number one contender, Max Holloway.
You are number 2.
You are number 2, brother. You are not beating my ass. So after the Volk loss, Max would face Calvin Kattar in January of 2021. I remember watching this fight. I was sitting there on that couch over there. I was watching it, ESPN, because it was at actually ESPN the network, because it was just a fight night. So I was sitting over here, I'm watching it, because I'm like, hey, I remember that guy. He's the guy that fought against the champion and lost. I'm like, let's see what he does now. And holy hell, this is Max Holloway's best performance to fucking date. He, only seconded by the Justin Gaethje fight, to be honest with you. So after the Volk loss, he would fight Calvin Kattar in January of 2021, and Max would fucking demolish Calvin Kattar. This is when you get that fancy clip where Max Holloway's like, count up those strikes, because John Anik was obviously doing his analyst job and saying over 600 strikes have been landed or have been thrown from Max Holloway, right? And 400 have landed. So this dude is putting a beating on Calvin Kattar, and he's like, yeah, count it up. And he's like, I'm the best boxer in USC, baby. You guys have seen the clip. You guys know it. He's punching him. He's slipping punches while he's talking shit. This is when Max went in the fucking Matrix, okay? This is one of those moments when you're in the athletes talk a lot about the flow state where you're just kind of going, and it doesn't happen all the time. You're just going. This was one of those moments for Max Holloway. He was in just pure striking flow. This dude was fucking throwing combos like nothing. He was flowing like a fucking river. Bruce Lee would have been so proud of him. He was water, my friend. So, yeah, he would just be beating the fucking brakes off of Calvin Kattar. And now, if you guys have not watched that fight, stop this video and watch it. I can wait. Alright, you back now? Wasn't that fucking awesome? So anyway, Max would demolish Cater, winning by a unanimous decision 50-46, 50-43, 50-42 on one judge's scorecard. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Max just fucked him. And it was funny because Calvin Cater talked a little bit of shit going into this fight. He really did. He would be taunting Max all the time, like, "Oh yeah, he's the freshman. I'm the senior. I'm gonna show him what it's actually like to go up against a guy that can box with him." You know, and oh boy, Calvin Cater ate his words literally and figuratively. So he set the record for most significant strikes landed in a fight. It hasn't been broken to this date. 445 significant strikes landed. That's just the landed ones. Usually that's how much you throw in a fight. Now I'm gonna get into what he threw. He threw over 700 punches at the significant strikes of this motherfucker, and that's one of Max's big things as a fighter. He kills your ass with volume. Does he have a lot of power? No, but can he knock people out? Yes, but it's usually after he breaks you down with a whole lot of volume. The dude has cardio for fucking days, so naturally that's what would happen. After this lovely fight with Calvin Cater, Max Holloway would face Yair Rodriguez again in November of 2021. I remember watching that fight too. I was sitting right there on the couch. And it was thundering, it was raining, there was a tornado warning. It was
Good
quite the
times.
it was quite the day here in Rhode Island. And I would remember because my mother and I were out running some errands and we got caught in that fucking rain. It wasn't fun, but we got home and I got home in time for Holloway. So I threw that bitch on and I'd watch this shit. You know, I just went for it. This originally was supposed to happen in July of 2021 on the McGregor Poirier card. They were supposed to put Max on there against Yair Rodriguez, but I think Max had to pull out of that fight for something. But it was an absolutely awesome fight. Now, Yair Rodriguez and Max Holloway were both pretty fucked up after this fight, to be honest with you. They were both FUBAR. The only reason why Max Holloway won this fight, really, it was a great fight. I shouldn't say this was the only way he won, but a big part of the reason why he won was because Max landed his career best takedowns with 3. Yeah! 3. Yeah! So 3 fucking takedowns. Those 3 takedowns were enough to get him that the decision. But that's a good fight too. You should watch that one. A lot. I think you're seeing a trend here. Max Holloway has been in a lot of fucking good fights that you should totally watch, and that's just what I'm saying.
And that's why he's getting the spotlight.
Exactly. So he would earn another title shot after setting a significant strike record and a personal best for punches landed, and creating a personal best for takedowns in his last 2 fights. So he'd earn another title shot against Alexander Volkanovski. Now, let me tell you, going into this fight, remember it. Um, it was it was pretty heated, pretty contested. People were like, "Oh, Max got this. Max gonna get his belt back. Volk didn't beat him last time. Max has been beating people left and right, going in fucking wars. He's gonna beat him." I remember a lot of people were underestimating Prime Volkanovski here. Um, Everybody's like, "Yeah, Max got that." You know, Max didn't have that fight. Anthony, I think you watched this one, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. He did not have that fight. He would proceed to get destroyed.
He didn't look like that guy who was the champion. He looked like the perennial #2 contender.
He really did, and that's just how great Volk's fucking prime was, man. Like we're in July of 2022 at this point. We're like dead in the middle of his prime, and like he had already beaten Korean Zombie a couple months prior to this fight, and prior to that he had another classic with Brian Ortega, and Brian Ortega's in a lot of fights too that you should go back and watch. He usually ends up losing them though, but he always is a part of some good fights. The dog's always down to scrap.
So long as he makes the weight and makes the fight, he's always a good watch.
He really is. It's just like he's Apollo Costa. You can never count on him making it. It's like Hamzat Chimaev. You can never really count on him making it. I mean, you can say it's gonna be like, yeah, he's gonna fight, but then you're like, is he really? But Volk would have an absolute fucking classic with Brian Ortega in September of 2021, and let me tell you, that fight was a fucking movie. Like that fight wasn't like it didn't look like a sports fight. Like obviously it is a sports fight, and sports fights are fun to watch. But this looked like a fight that you would see in like a Rocky movie. type deal of
Like a
just
glamorized
like
fight spotlight.
glamorized fight. Like that's exactly what that fight was. And that fight was a fucking movie. It really was. And people were underestimating that. They were like, "Oh man, yeah, Volk beat him, but like, look at him. He almost got submitted 3 times." But here's the thing: he fucking broke out of that shit. So I mean, going into this fight, a lot of people were favoring Max, and I think Max was even only a tiny bit of an underdog going into this fight, like not by much, like maybe plus 110 type deal, if I'm remembering correctly. But Max would get destroyed. 50-45 unanimous decision for Alexander Volkanovski.
Happens when you're fighting Volk sometimes.
And just, especially that Volk, um, especially that Volk. Now, after that fight was done and over with, Max is still stuck at #1 contender. I just lost to the champ again. What the fuck else am I gonna do? I guess I'll just have to keep beating featherweights until I get there. Yeah, again. So after that, he would go in and he would face Arnold Allen in April of 2023. Once again, another good fight that you should go back and watch. But mind you, going into this fight, Arnold Allen was on a 9-fight winning streak. There are legitimately people saying that like Arnold Allen could possibly beat Volkanovski at this point in time. Now Arnold Allen looks like silly these days, unfortunately, because I like Arnold Allen. I think he has a cool fighting style, but he's looking silly these days. But like at this point in time, 2023, 22, around that time, yeah, he was looking pretty dangerous, and for good reason. The dude was doing good, and he ran into Max Holloway. He ran into Max Holloway, a Max Holloway that just got destroyed in his last fight. So bet your ass he don't want to lose again. So he goes and he beats. Yeah, Allen was looking dangerous, but Max would go on to destroy Arnold Allen and be like, "You thought this guy was gonna fucking beat me, bro? Hell no." He goes, "I don't give a fuck how many featherweights I have to fight. I'm gonna keep lining them up and knocking them down before I'm getting to Volkanovski again." And but yeah, so Max Holloway would safely derail the contendership that Arnold Allen was on. Now Arnold Allen's just kind of that guy that you see on a card that he's gonna put a good fight on. I mean, he has a cool fighting style, but can't really be so tempted that he could win. Now, mind you, to this point, despite him being in all these wars and whatnot, Max Holloway hasn't been knocked out yet, and that's pretty big. That was like his big thing going into this. A lot of people are like, who's gonna crack Max's chin? Oh, somebody did. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But Max would then get his legacy fight that he always wanted. He's like, I faced a lot of legends. I faced Jose Aldo. He was one of my idols growing up. I faced Frankie Edgar. He was also another guy I watched growing up. I want to fight the Korean Zombie. And Korean Zombie was like, huh, let's see. I'm fresh off a title loss to Volkanovski, Prime Volkanovski, where the ref had to step in and stop the fight while I was still standing because he knew I was just going to keep getting beat on. So he's like, huh, Max Holloway wants to fight me. I just lost a title fight. If I beat Max, I get another crack, you know? So naturally, Korean Zombie said, let's go, brother. And boy, they did. At 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. They were in fucking Singapore. This was presumed to be Korean Zombie's, like, last fight. There was rumors that he would be retiring if he lost. And that's exactly what would end up happening. He would lose. But let me tell you, before we get into the sad shit about Korean Zombie retiring, holy fuck, this fight was great. This was another all gas, no breaks type of fight. Once again, I've a broken record that you should go back and watch. So, um, he faces Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung. This is TK. This would go on to be TKZ's last fight in the UFC, and Max would win in emphatic fashion. This third round knockout. Korean Zombie knew he only had 3 rounds worth of cardio in him because he's getting old at this point. He can't go as fast as he once did. You know, this isn't the same guy that was beating Dustin Poirier with a fucking twister. You know, this isn't the same guy anymore. This is an older Korean Zombie that's pretty much at the tail end of his career. Has been losing to a lot of guys. So Max would go out and knock him out round 3 in an emphatic fashion. And let me tell you something about Korean Zombie. This man went down swinging, literally. He really did. If that overhand right had landed on Max before Max's overhand right landed on Korean Zombie might have been the first person to knock out Max Holloway. I'm just saying that punch was coming in fucking hot, and just he caught him. He was faster, and that's just the nature of the game. Unfortunately, Korean Zombie would fall flat on his face right there, in the middle of the octagon, and he would retire. But damn, he had one hell of a send off though. The whole crowd singing "Zombie" by the Cranberries to him, as he's walking out of the octagon. Now he had actually lost his fight gloves that he used in his last pair of fight gloves in that fight. Somebody stole them, unfortunately. I'm like, damn, you're gonna go ahead and steal a Legends fucking last pair of gloves that he wore to the octagon for something he did for so long. That's kind of fucked up. So you know what Max did? Max gave him his fight gear from that night. Like, yeah, I knocked you out, but here's what I wore, so you at least still have something to remember your last fight by. And in return, there was a lot of Hawaii wildfires going on at this point in time. I think Korean Zombie donated about $50,000 to Hawaii, which holy shit, can I have some? But he would actually donate a lot of money to the wildfires there. So that was the legacy fight with Korean Zombie. Now, after this fight, he would go on to fight Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje at 300. This was Max Holloway's debut at lightweight. Well, second time fighting at lightweight, to be honest. He had flirted with moving up for a while now, and now he's finally moving up. And he's got Justin Gaethje, which that's a pretty good first fight.
Was this his second or third? What he started?
He started in featherweight at the UFC. Okay. He was a lightweight champion in his promotion, the X1 Heroes promotion, but then he went down to 145 and stayed at 145 for many years. And then he tried a little bit of 155, almost fought Khabib, didn't quite end up doing that. Then he went and fought Dustin. He didn't beat Dustin. You know, he always flirted with going up to 155, and I had always thought Max would fare better in 155. Now that since Volk was, just had his number at this point. At this point in time, just had his number. Well, maybe not this point in time, because this is shortly after Volk got knocked out by Islam and Ilya back to back. But he would go on and face Justin Gaethje in a fucking classic, UFC 300, and I think you guys know how that fight ended. Max Holloway, the badass that he is, points to the center of the octagon with the hardest puncher at 155 at this time, before Ilya Taporia came in, and he would just swing and bang for fucking the last 10 seconds of the fight. KO'd him, flatlined him. Insane. Best UFC knockout ever. We ain't gonna see a knockout like that for quite some time, I'll say. So, that one was special. Now, obviously, with this emphatic win, Max Holloway at 155, that's all the rage. We're like, oh yeah, this is it right here. This is the new Max Holloway. But then Max would go back down to 145 to face Ilya Taporia. Yeah. Which, to be honest, it makes sense because Ilya never passed the Max Holloway test on his way up to the title.
This is actually where our notebook gets outdated. Mm-hmm.
So we all off the dome now.
Yep.
So, like usual. But after the UFC 300, we're all thinking, oh, maybe Max is going to stay at 155. Nah. This brother goes back down to 145 to try to go get his belt again because, well, there's another guy that has it now. You know?
Yep, and he didn't pass the Holloway wall.
And, yeah, and Ilya never passed the Holloway wall, which was the biggest gripe going into the fight. I think, that was good. I think even you and I were like, he never faced the Max Holloway.
Oh, yeah, that was my big gripe with Ilya when he first went on for his titleship run. I'm like, he never got by Holloway. That's not, you don't go around that wall.
You just can't. He just skipped the line a little bit, but then, sure enough, as fate would have it, October 2024, UFC 308, Abu Dhabi. Oh, boy. The infamous vibranium chin of Max Holloway would be cracked, and Max Holloway was on his ass, knocked the fuck out for the first time in his fucking career.
And honestly, when it comes to the... Hello, Molly. Good thing you're all working today.
Ah, yes.
When it comes to the Holloway wall, you do have to go past that because he ran the featherweight division for so long, and everyone would have held that against you had you not done that fight.
Yeah.
So I think that was the right call there.
It was better for all of them at the end of the day. Like, they both had to do that fight.
Yeah.
Just to settle the debate. Like, he never got past Holloway. Let's see if he can get past Holloway. Oh, he got past Holloway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he punched a hole through that.
Punched a hole right through Holloway. All right. And yeah, that's where we're at with Max Holloway. And now after the loss to Ilia Topuria at 145, Max is permanently staying at 155 now. He's like, all right, that's it. Probably not going to do it at 145 anymore. I can't do it anymore. And now Volkanovski's back in there now. So 155, new home for Max Holloway, and he would get another fight to defend his BMF title because they never put the BMF on the line against Ilia Topuria, which I thought was stupid. They probably should have.
I don't
But
think so. You don't want to give a champion the BMF belt.
yeah, I guess you're right.
It's its own thing.
It's its own subdivision, but
It's like it's kind of the stage before you launch into a championship.
yeah,
Like if you were to be championship, I think you vacate the BMF belt, let two other people fight for it that are like in their prime or about to be in their prime that need like one good fight, and then whoever wins that can go for a championship.
oh, so you're thinking a BMF belt, kind of like a master key type
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
I got you. That's actually a pretty good way of using the BMF belt, but now Max Holloway's putting his BMF title on the line that he won against Justin Gaethje, whom Justin Gaethje won against Dustin Poirier, and yeah, that fight is confirmed for Louisiana on July 19th, which is in about a week.
Yep, we got
So
a week.
we got a week left, and this is going to be Dustin Poirier's last fight. And sure enough, Max Holloway's meeting Dustin Poirier again. So I think that's a good little fight for Dustin on his last go around. I mean, I would have rather seen the Gaethje fight, but like, I'm not complaining about Holloway being in that spot
Oh
either.
hell no.
Ah, fuck no. I fucking love Max. Obviously, we went over his entire fucking career today. So I guess I should probably say, can Max Holloway ever be like champion again? Like undisputed champion? Do you think he can make it at lightweight now?
I do myself.
You do? Tell me more.
So the thing is, from what we've seen of Holloway in his later years in a higher weight division, he's fucking killing it. Like the dude is putting on great performances, and I think that in a week's time we're gonna see another great performance that will not take away from either of them.
Yeah.
And it's definitely gonna put a statement on where to go at this point in time for Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a rematch with Ilia Topuria, but this time it's at a different weight class. Both of them got a little bit more weight to them. I mean, obviously Ilia Topuria is coming off a huge win
Yep.
against Charles Oliveira, who was the former king before Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like fucking huge for Ilia's record, you know. So I think Ilia's got to. I think Ilia's got to fight Armin though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the next fight to make here, Ilya Armin. But depending on how well Max performs in this,
It could just put Max right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
Max would be like, "Hey, I'm here, ready to do it. We're trying a different weight class. We both fight a little differently here.
Mm-hmm.
We both have a bit more to use. We both flow a bit differently. Let's see who's top."
Let's see who's got that, and it would be a perfect fight, perfect sense to it would make perfect sense for this to happen because that's just how it be rolling. And Ilia Topuria obviously is on unstoppable roll right now. Like the dude is steamrolling, gents.
But we're probably gonna dive more into that in the next podcast.
Yes, but all I'm saying is this next fight that Max Holloway has planned against Dustin Poirier is going to change up how the division looks. To be
Yep.
honest, because not only are we going to be losing somebody, but it also, depending on who loses, it puts him in a different
Mhm.
position. Either guy, because I've seen people make the argument that if Dustin knocks out Max, then why should he retire? You know,
I've
but
seen that too. You know,
I've seen the argument. I think this is Dustin's last one though, 100%. I do think like when he said it, he meant it.
I
And,
don't think that Dustin wants to continue the career,
Mhm.
more or less. You know, because it's all on the fighter. Like I say, they give us all they can. We are in no place to demand more from them. Say he wins in emphatic fashion, first round knockout in 10 seconds. He doesn't want to continue fighting. Why would you try making him fight? Yes, he'd have all the more like reason to try, especially against a new champ.
and a guy
But
that he could probably fare okay against.
if he doesn't want to,
Then
like he
don't
said,
make
he
him.
wants to retire. It's fucking
Then-
home ground for him.
Mhm.
There wouldn't be much better place to retire.
I mean, they're putting it in Louisiana, man. Like they gotta, man. But it's just like I've seen people make that argument, but I've also seen people make the argument that if Max beats Dustin here and keeps his BMF title, and he's got all the keys to want to get that rematch with Elite Sporia at this new weight class, jump the line even. And to be honest, I think Dana White would be more akin to
Yeah, I'm more a fan of
Holloway,
that.
Holloway and Taporia
Rematch.
than
Fucking
Armin and
double
Taporia.
champ.
Hmm.
Fucking. It have all the things going for it that it needs to sell out big,
Hmm.
but it's not the right call in my opinion. You got to get Arm in there.
Yeah, I mean the dude's on a huge winning streak right now. Like you can't make him stop now. Like dude's on an 11 fight, 10 fight winning streak right now. Like bro, let this bro go. Like let him go. He was already supposed to.
Let thine fighter cook.
Exactly. And then after that, then doors wide open. Then anybody can get it, really. So, I mean, obviously, yeah, Justin Gaethje that's clamoring for it, though. But we'll go more into the title picture at lightweight next week. This is Max Holloway's special,
Yep.
and Max Holloway's in a pretty unique situation right now. He's got a chance to make a big statement, and he's got a chance to, do something big here. I mean, not to say that Max has ever had a lack of excitement, or a lack of good direction or needle moving fights. You know.
Honestly, to move kind of a bit more away from that pay-per-view fight that's about to happen and more focus in on Holloway and my opinion on the BMF belt. So I do think of it like a master key, which also begs to differ. Like, he could put on a stellar run as BMF champion too.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be for weight division. If he just wants to rock the BMF belt until whenever he can. I do think that it's separate from weight class one, and I don't think that you should be a champion, like a weight champion with the BMF belt.
Yeah.
But something like the BMF belt, like that would have been perfect for Greggy and
Chandler. Mm.
no, no, not even Chandler. Before that, when he fucking left the division on hold, who the fuck was he for? Was it Diaz? Was talking smack about Greggy?
That was way before he left.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they
Hmm.
fought. That was a huge weight jump there.
Yeah,
That could have been the very first BMF belt
that could have been.
because it can go between different weight classes. That's a pretty static jump there.
Yeah.
But as an example of something that still puts a special name, a special event there, but doesn't have to be specifically a weight class orientated thing. That's why I think of more of like a master key.
Yeah, and plus it can travel beyond weight classes, and if you have the BMF belt, yeah, I do like that idea of vacating it. Let two other guys go for it.
Which also means that Holloway, if we're using this as a master key, doesn't have to be restricted right now to the
Lightweight.
lightweight division.
And you can go up to 170 and fight
Because if you
fucking Leon
put that
Edwards.
belt on the line, guess what? People are gonna want it because it's a belt.
Hmm. Prize fighters,
It's
after all.
it's a great tool to be used to enhance the people in that match.
Hell yeah. But yeah, nah. Max got one hell of a career, man, and it's still going. I mean, Max said in an interview that he's got maybe 3 to 4 fights left in him, so that's about maybe 2 more years, 3 more years around there, which is sad because he's getting going by the wayside.
Yeah, we don't want to see more fucking Tony Ferguson's.
Yeah, but he said I got maybe 3 to 4 left in me, and this one is he's focused on this one right now, one with Dustin. So I mean, overall, Max is in a weird spot right now, and he's in a spot to make greatness once again because Max Holloway is just great. You know,
He's a favorite fighter's favorite fighter.
he's a favorite fighter's favorite fighter. I mean, people say that about Justin Gaethje all the time. He's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. But I think the same could be said for Max Holloway. He's your favorite fighter's
A
favorite
lot of
fighter.
these fighters, they fucking idolize the people that are in their same division.
Yeah.
You know?
They gotta. I mean, Max Holloway's had one hell of a career overall, regardless of the losses that he's taken on like the biggest of stages. His stock has never truly diminished ever since he even started. I mean, he's had a little rough. He had a bumpy road. I mean, lost to Dustin, got a win, then lost twice again, then went on one fucking crazy run just to lose to Dustin, and then have to go get his belt and then defend it more. And he had to go and he lost to Volk, lost to Volk. Like he's had ups and downs, but like overall, no matter really what happens to Max Holloway, I think even from now until he retires eventually, you can never really say his stock ever plummeted. It's not going to. I mean, if he overstays his welcome, then it will. I'm sure a lot of people were saying the same shit about Tony Ferguson before before the whole fucking Tony Ferguson happened. So I mean,
Listen, GFL is gonna do great things.
it's not even a fucking thing anymore. Like, I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. Like, did the money laundering scheme go away now? Like, did the FBI get him, or was the FBI about to get him? Like, CIA getting involved here? Like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, Max is, you can never say no to a Max Holloway fight. It's always exciting. It brings people in. People know Max. People love Max, and that's just how it's supposed to be. The dude delivers every time, and no matter what happens on July 19th, I still think he has a lot of things that he can do from now until his eventual end. So I mean, and also on top of that, Max is just a great guy, man. Max is just fucking great. I'd so want to chill with him, go surfing or something. Like, go surf and have a beer with him. I totally would.
Just wait for his bloodline entrance. It's
Yeah,
gonna be amazing.
I really would. But like, Max is just an overall guy. I mean, he is married. He has a wife and one child. His child's name is Ryder. I forget the wife's name right now. But he's got a great family. He's got a good heart. I can tell, and he's just overall really he's a fine character for sure. And I'm always looking forward to it when it's Max Holloway, even if Max Holloway goes against another one of my favorite fighters. So to be honest, that's my final thoughts on Max Holloway. He's just a solid pick. I fucking love Max Holloway. He's like number like 4 on my list, probably number 5 around there.
Yep.
So I mean, there you go. That's my wrap up on Max. What you got, Ant?
I feel the same way about Max. I love the guy. I love his fight record, and a lot of the times you don't want to see someone who's just always winning. That's one of my biggest gripes with Ilya, with Islam, with yours with Khabib. You know, it's not that we don't like people. Obviously, I said it before this. I'll say it again. I don't not like the guy. It's
Eh,
just
you beat
you
all my
keep
guys.
beating my favorite fighters.
You keep winning.
We like seeing ups and downs because that helps us relate to them.
Yeah.
They don't seem invincible. They don't seem unstoppable.
They seem human.
But they get back up afterwards.
And that's always the best story to tell. It's always a comeback. We love seeing the hills and divots in the records.
Which is why I can say that Max Holloway is right up there. I think he's probably in my top 3.
Yeah, I mean, and the dude is so consistent. Like, no matter what, the dude's in a good fight. Like, I'm never bored watching a Max Holloway fight. Never am. Are you ever bored when you watch Max Holloway? I'm not.
How high are we gonna rate him on our baddest motherfucker to baddest motherfucker?
Oh,
We
he's
still got that.
Yeah, we do still have that list. He's got to be top 5, to be honest. It's just purely based off of the shit he's done. And the BMF champion automatically puts you in the upper echelon of it. If you're the BMF champion, man, like, you're gonna be up there on the baddest motherfuckers list, But nah, I think he's got to be up there. I'd say like top 10, top 5.
Definitely top 10 for sure.
Like for sure, top 10.
Once again, we're talking about all the UFC fighters who have ever been there, what they've done for the sport, how they, dominate, how they manage themselves during the sport there. And we will get that list to you at some point.
We're still making it. We're still making it. There's a lot of bad motherfuckers we got to go over.
Like, Ilya's knocking his way in there, too, with his fucking... Can you stop him, please?
Somebody's got to nerf Ilya Taporia, man.
Nerf him.
Somebody nerf Taporia, nerf El Matador. He's too strong. He's beating everybody, and it's not fair. This is my formal complaint to the simulation masters. But yeah, that's Max Holloway, guys. Overall, great fighter.
And
great
our
guy.
BMF champion right now.
Our BMF champ right now, as of making this video, it's July 12th at the time of recording this, so we don't know what the fuck happened. But this is the Max Holloway special. You guys finally got it.
It existed.
It exists now. Congratulations. I ain't got nothing else. Y'all got anything else?
Thank y'all. Have a good time. Send us our baddest motherfuckers list. We should put into account for that. Pepsi, hit us up. We always rocking with you.
Of course. And we'll see y'all later.